Hey everybody, I want to talk a little bit about my ZG1000 1997 Kawasaki Concourse for any of you guys that thinking about maybe buying one. There's a lot to like and maybe a little bit not to like. Overall, it's a really good bike. They started making these in the mid-80s, and they continued to make them till about 2007, and then they came out with the new model, the 1400, in 2008, which is a lot. It's a lot more bike, a lot better bike, I think. But anyway, these bikes are really well made, real dependable. They're not real fast and real agile, and they're pretty clumsy at low speed. And they're kind of tall, and they carry the weight up pretty high. The tanks, this is the tank up here. Like a lot of bikes, this will just look like the tank, and the tank will be down under the seat. Well, this is the tank, and it holds 7.5 gallons. And that's well, that's good because you can go a long ways, but it's heavy. But once you get rolling, you know, it kind of just feels a lot lighter real quick. It's not bad. Just riding around town and parking lots and stuff, it can be a little bit of a handful. I'm about 5'6½", and I'm touching tippy toes at a stop sign, which hasn't really been an issue for me because, you know, I used to ride KX 500 dirt bike and stuff. I rode a lot of dirt bikes and, when I was younger, and I could never touch only one leg at a time on those. It never bothered me. You get used to it. But there's a lot of these bikes around. They made a gazillion of them, and they're actually pretty good bike. I'd have to say probably my biggest disappointment with the bike is it's not real comfortable to travel at high speeds. I'm talking 75 to 85, which when you're trying to cover some ground, you need to get 500, 600 miles in one day, and the conditions and whatever will allow it. Sometimes traffic's moving, you know, about 80 miles an hour. This bike isn't super comfortable at that speed. Like, I'm going 65 right now, and it's pretty good. It's pretty fine. I get a little bit of wind hitting my head, but it's not bad at this speed. You get up around 80, and you just feel like you're getting whipped around a little bit. It's pretty noisy. The bike feels a little busy, like it's having to rev too much. You get above 4,000 RPMs and you start to feel a little more buzz in the handlebars that can kind of make your hands go to sleep. And I'd say that's my biggest disappointment with the bike, which isn't, I really do like it. But after owning a Voyager that's even, I got a Voyager that's almost 10 years older than this bike. It's 9 years older, 88. And it is far more comfortable to travel long distance. And it's smoother and everything than this bike. But when you get up to some corners, you know, you get up in a canyon or somewhere, this bike is a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun to ride in the corners. But it's no, if you get off of a super sport bike, 600 or 1000 CBR, you know, a super sport bike, this thing is really going to feel heavy, and it is. It's not going to handle like a sport bike. But it's really dependable. It's well built. I think it's reliable. From everything I've read, that it's very reliable. Parts are plentiful. There's a company called Shootaben, Shoobedan, and that guy Steve there, he specializes in these bikes. And there's all kinds of things you can do to make it just a little better, you know. But for me, I don't want to dump a bunch of money into an older bike. If I'm not happy with it the way it is, I'm gonna get something else. It's just not worth dumping a bunch of money into it. But it is plenty good for me just the way it is, stock. And for going on day trips, under 400 miles in a day, 300 miles preferably, it's great. Where you can stop and get off once in a while. As a commuter bike, it'd probably be just fine. For a bike riding around town, I don't really care to ride around town in traffic and stop and go traffic a lot with it. It just doesn't really do well in there. I mean, you can do it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. There's a ton of these bikes available because I made so many of them. And you can get one in good shape for under $3 grand. So, I don't know. I think I would actually, if I had it to do all over again, I would probably go for a little bit newer, maybe not much newer, but a Honda ST 1100 or 1300. I think that they're probably a little more comfortable and they look a little better. The front of this bike, the front of the fairing is a little dated, but if you love to ride like I do, little things like that really doesn't bother you that much. The only time you even notice is when you park next to somebody else's bike or something, you know. But yeah, they're really good bikes. I would recommend getting one if you're thinking about it. They should come with saddlebag, hard bags, panniers, whatever they call them, and they do hold quite a bit. And I think you get a lot of miles out of them. A shaft drive, you should get lots of trouble-free miles out of it. I wonder if I'm going to make this light. Anyway, I feel so much better. I worked all night last night and I was tired, didn't feel like doing nothing. I get out here on the bike and I just feel like, wow, so much better. Come on, light, stay green. Copper right there. So anyway, I don't know what else to say about it. They didn't change much, I know that. I mean, they made a few changes over the years, but they basically look the same, and I'd say 95% of the parts are all interchangeable from 84, 85, whenever they came out, all the way up to 2007. One thing I wish it had was 17-inch wheels. It's got 18-inch wheels, and your tire selection is not near as good with the. I wish they would have put 17s on it, but and you can do that if you want to. I mean, you can do it. It's pretty much unlimited. This guy's. I feel like I'm getting stung. Well, look at all the bikes out today. Wow. There's a Gold Wing, a couple of Cruisers, Harley Trike. It's like this weather's finally starting to get good and people are coming out. There's a Gold Wing 1800 there. That looks pretty comfortable. Well, guys, that's all I got for now. Have a good day. Get a bike.